Hello and happy spring. I wanted to pop on here and say hello, and as someone reminded me, if you are in the northern hemisphere, happy spring. If you are in the southern hemisphere, happy fall. And either way, this is the day where sun and moon are balanced, where day and night are balanced. And so we celebrate, and though a lot of people aren't feeling very celebratory, maybe still feeling isolated, maybe still feeling some heaviness, and this is a good time to check in with yourself and see what your story that you have going, the story that you have running on autopilot, and maybe doing a little bit of process work around that. So we are moving into Aries time. The sun has moved into Aries, and that's very exciting. The sun, I knew the sun was going to shine today because, well, at least where I am, because of this, like Aries is the fire, so it's the element of fire. It is transformative, and it is our identity, our warrior spirit. And with that, we have to be aware and always checking ourselves and looking at who we're thinking that we're fighting against, or who we think we're fighting against, and really neutralizing that and really using this energy for our own benefit, and to be pushing ourselves forward, and not to be, there's an amazing quote that's something like, the only person I'm in competition with is myself. And so that's really a helpful thing to keep in mind as you're moving through this ingress of the sun into Aries, while we still have Chiron in the last few degrees of Pisces. It has been there for the last 8 years, and as we move forward into April, Chiron will be moving into Aries as well. And so that is something else we'll talk about that another time. I have a webinar tomorrow evening at 6:45 if you're interested in joining me. But I wanted to stick with talking about spring. There's so much going on astrologically, it's hard not to not get distracted. There are so many archetypes at play that can make us feel a little bit crazy and a little bit heavy. So the sun conjunct Chiron is a huge one, especially since Chiron is the last few degrees of Pisces, and that's all squaring Mars in Capricorn, and Mars just ingressed into Capricorn a couple hours after the new moon that we just had. So Mars in Capricorn, I was saying on my other video that it's a huge blessing during this time. We also have, though, to be aware that this Mars in Capricorn is conjuncting, which means it's coming right close to. Conjunction just means it's within 10 degrees. And so we have Mars in 10 degrees of Saturn, and Saturn's heavy, and Saturn is our hard lessons that we have to learn for our benefit, but we have this kind of restrictive energy to our moving forward, along with that squaring the sun newly into Aries that is right close to conjunct Chiron, which is the wound. So it's like this hard teacher pushing down on our wounds. And so you want to know where this is happening for you. So where is Capricorn for you? Where is Aries for you? And then I think it's also equally important to know just if you have a lot of cardinal energy. So Capricorn is a cardinal sign, and Aries is a cardinal sign, and then we have Cancer and Libra, which are both cardinal signs. So you want to know where those are in your chart. If you know you have a lot of cardinal energy, it's a great time to work with me or work with another astrologer, because it's definitely going to be a time that you're going to want to initiate things, which is going to be hard with the Mercury retrograde, but also creating a new story for yourself around what I was talking about earlier and around your wounds. So that's all happening. And the moon right now is in Taurus, and Taurus can be stubborn, can really do well or benefit from tapping into the senses. So if you are struggling, if you are feeling like things are heavy, I was talking about on Saturday, I think it was Saturday, the new moon, my brain is not working, but to really utilize the senses, utilize essential oils, I was talking about huffing some, snorting some essential oils can be really helpful, lighting some candles, really just paying attention to your basic needs of, hi Stephanie, checking in with your senses. So am I breathing? Can I lengthen my breath? Those really basic needs, and of course, if you're able to, getting a massage from somebody, this is a great time to do that. or getting some body work of any kind, really. So definitely utilize those resources. I was saying, so I have a couple things happening this week. I have the webinar tomorrow evening that's going to be astrological based, and one person's chart will be used as the example, which can be really helpful. So register for that. I'll put the link below. And then also I have my intuitive development class starts on Thursday, and Thursday evening Pacific Standard Time. And so if you're interested in that, this is like the most helpful time to take that class. And it's a 5-week class. If you register for that class, you get free access to the webinar on Wednesday. So if you want to just spend the whole week with me, that's what we're going to be doing. And that 5-week course is helpful for anybody who is just really sensitive and picks up on energy and thinks that that's just something that they're supposed to do and that they're supposed to be exhausted at the end of the day and all those things. It really helps you come up with visualizations and meditation and ways of coping, and also toning down, like learning how to tone down and turn down your intuition and when it's safe to turn it up. So that's a really great class. If you're interested in that, you can ask any questions here about that. And that starts this Thursday. So those are the main aspects that I wanted to talk about. We have this beautiful trine with the sun still just so close to Pisces and still kind of hooked into Chiron. We have it trining Jupiter, and that is really lighting up more emotion. So if you're feeling emotional, this is why. I know we said that Aries season things would get better, but it's going to take a little bit of time. So just be gentle with yourself and do what you need to do to take care of your senses and to take care of your body. And know that things will ease up by hopefully the next few days. I think I said in one of my things that Tuesday, things would be easing up by Tuesday, but I'm taking that back. I think it's going to ease up a little bit once we, maybe, okay, I don't know if it's going to ease up, guys. It's just intense. But basically, I think that when the sun gets a little bit further away from Chiron, it should ease up a little bit more. And if you're feeling just that wounded healer, I talked about, sorry, I'm getting confused what I said in my, if you're following me on Instagram, I just did a live video and I feel like it was a little bit more concise. So if you haven't already, think about these last 8 years and think about Chiron through Pisces, because it's going to switch signs next month. And when it's in these last few degrees of Pisces, it's going to switch to Aries. Oh my gosh. It's going to switch to Aries. It's in Pisces. So you want to think of these last 8 years and what you've learned, what you've created a story around so that you can release it. And I recommended kind of lighting it up, write it all out, and then burn it for this spring. I think it's a great thing to do actually today to celebrate spring. So if you're able to do that, it's a great thing to do today. Please reach out if you're having a hard time or you just want to work with me privately. I'm available for private reading, so definitely do that. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day and happy equinox.